Well, this is totally not Danzig, and you're listening to the Shred Shack.
Greetings, folks. I'm Dan Mack.
And this is Chris Mack.
You're too busy rocking out over there.
Dude, I'm fucking so tired. Been up since yesterday.
Yeah. I don't have my script ready. So you're listening to episode 105 of the Shred Shack podcast, your premier source of news and uninformed and heavily biased opinions pertaining to all things heavy metal, airing bi-weekly on Google Play, Mixcloud, iTunes, YouTube at youtube.com/AdamantSTemplum and youtube.com/the Facebook.
The Facebook. Wow. He just woke up 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That should be said.
YouTube.com/the Shred Shack.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Facebook.
I go on the Facebooks.
He runs the Facebooks. Oh, that was classic.
Yeah. That was almost as good as the time I got it backwards. ShredShack.com/Facebook. Yeah. I'm up.
The Facebooks.
I'm awake. So let's go into some old business. I gotta find the button.
Old business is old business, and new business is new business.
So old business.
All right. So the Prodigy singer Keith Flint died as a result of hanging, it has been revealed. He was found dead on March 4th at his home in Essex, a county in the southwest of England near northeast of London. A post-mortem was carried out on Flint's body last Thursday. The coroner's officer, Lindsay Chafe, said during a 2-minute hearing on Monday that there was no suspicious circumstances surrounding his death. He's quoted as saying police attended, all protocols were followed, and his death was confirmed as not suspicious. She added,
So I'm gonna go on.
She added that Flint's death remains under investigation while toxicology reports are awaited.
Yeah, that's a good one to wait for.
Yeah.
But it's I know when it first happened, someone had mentioned that it was something involving suicide.
It was his bandmate who said that he was suicide. So.
Well, I also saw something like on Twitter and everything. But now I guess it's practically confirmed.
Pretty much confirmed, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of if he had anything inside him when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as we always say, if you need help, get help. There's no shame in it. So.
For real.
Yeah. Let's go on to new business.
And this is new business, and we do not discuss new business until next quarter.
And with new business, we start off with new album releases, of which I do not have any. I did not go through this week's new release schedule, and actually, technically I do have one. So I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna go through mine because mine's short.
All right, so I got two. I got the newest album from Children of Bodom called Hexed. Oh, excuse me. And it's a Children of Bodom record. It's fun. It's catchy. It's one of my favorite things about Children of Bodom is the interplay between Alexi Laiho and the keyboardist. Like they're back and forth, their call and response, and their harmonies are always so much fun and just really sound great.
Yeah.
And sometimes you kind of forget how amazing of a guitarist he is, and it's just awesome to listen to tell you the truth.
I saw a headline recently that he doesn't want to quote play fast anymore. Unquote.
I was gonna say there's one thing that they did kind of did on this record is I wouldn't say they slowed it down because it still sounds like Children of Bodom. It's still pretty goddamn fast, but it's definitely like they toned it back just a touch, just a little bit. You know, I think he might be trying to go for a little bit more groove oriented stuff instead of just a straightforward like rah. But it's still a Children of Bodom record. It still sounds like them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not like they really changed that much. They might have just slowed it down a touch.
Gotcha.
So instead of playing 300 beats per minute, they're playing like 280.
299. These go to 11.
So either way, it's still a Children of Bodom record. It still sounds great. And again, my favorite part of it is the musicianship between the keyboardist and Alexi. I think it's a great combination of sounds. And the next one I got up, and I haven't really listened to this one too much, so I can't really say too much about it, is the newest one from Fallujah. I just recently kind of got into them late in like the last 2 records, so I just wanted to pick this one up to kind of keep up on it. From what I remember from when I listened to it, it's good. Again, I just have to sit down and listen to it for real. Mm-hmm. It kind of got like a quick pass in the car and nothing beyond that at this point.
Yeah. So
it's gotta get back in the rotation.
Yeah. I listened to, I'd say, about 80% of the new album from Iron Savior. And if you're familiar with Iron Savior, if you're familiar with German speed metal, then you know what you're getting. Iron Savior has.
That's kind of like the checkbox for Dan too.
Yeah,
German.
Like they haven't changed their formula ever.
Ever.
And it's always good. It's always spot on. Like Pietziel still sounds great. Instrumentally, it's still fast, or when they decide to go slow, it's nice and melodic. I can't really argue with whatever direction they go in, because it's almost always the same, and it's always good. So I mean, it's one of those things where not changing the formula is for the best, just because of the fact that what they do is so good. They're good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
So why bother? So.
Well, this week, just looking at the new releases, new release list from Loudwire.
From what day?
For today, because we are recording this on March 22nd.
I fucking forgot it was Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday, March 22nd.
Shit.
And I'm also trying to remember the last podcast we recorded was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that's why we're a little thrown off, because we usually record on Sundays, but because of our current work schedules, we're changing things around as it falls.
Yeah.
But this week sees a lot of reissues and greatest hits compilations.
Oh, that's good. I can scratch those off the list.
Yeah, because we got re-releases of Iron Maiden, the next 4 in their re-released batch here: the No Prayer for the Dying, Power Slave, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, and Somewhere in Time.
I was gonna say 3 out of the 4 of those are you bought up. The 4th one's gonna be left behind.
All right, next one up is we got Megadeth, their new greatest hits collection, the Warheads on Foreheads collection. That's the one with like 35 different tracks or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Motley Crue is releasing the soundtrack for The Dirt, their movie, which I believe includes 2 new songs as well as their cover of Like a Virgin by Madonna. I didn't listen to it, but...
It's just very funny that a 2 members of the band, not just one, but 2 members of the band, are involved in sex tapes.
Yeah.
And they're covering Like a Virgin.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Nothing like a virgin.
not even remotely close like a virgin. They should have just done a parody of it. They should have gotten like Weird Al to been like, dude, can you retool this?
You're right. All right, but one album I want to check out is Battle Beast.
Battle Beast is always good.
They released a new record today. Stellar Darling, which is 4 members of Elvady, I believe. Mm-hmm. They have a new record out today.
They're good.
So that could be something to look into. Mm-hmm. Robin Trower has an album out.
I remember seeing that because I copied the lists at the start of the month, and then I cross out reissues and greatest hits, and ones that I know I'm not going to pick, like either from name alone or something like that. And Robin
Yeah.
Trower, I knew I was like, that's not metal, but that's cool. He's got a new album out.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Robin Trower's got to be hitting 70 at least.
Hey, going strong. I mean, there are some 70-year-olds out there who are not as strong and still going, Ozzy.
Yeah, well.
Calling you out, old man.
I saw a picture of him from way back when, and it said this. It was on this day in 1970 that the band decided to stop letting Ozzy dress for himself. And he's wearing like plaid pants and like just this button-down T-shirt.
That poor old man. All right, but that's what we're looking forward to in the.
What about the 15th? Because I know that the Iron Savior album came out on the 15th, but there was
I don't know.
more.
Let me scroll back. Find it. Oh no, what happened?
Oh.
All right, hold on. Here we go. The 15th. That was Fallujah for what I listened to. We got Backyard Babies.
What?
Foreigner live at the Rainbow.
You know what I've grown to
The 15th didn't have much at all.
I've grown to really appreciate Jukebox Hero as a song. You know,
The Foreigner belt.
I've grown to really appreciate that song, just for its
Like unironically.
unironically. Like it was on the radio the other day, and I got to hear it from start to finish for the first time ever, and it's actually a good song.
You know what I really enjoy now?
What?
When I go driving with the boys, we take turns listening to music,
Yeah.
and they just recently asked for Godzilla song.
Which is Kashmir.
No,
Really?
Godzilla song. Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh.
Godzilla.
Really?
Yeah.
So not even Kashmir from the remix.
I don't think they've ever seen Godzilla,
and they never will.
I don't know where they came up with we want to listen to this song from Godzilla, but I just put on one on YouTube, and I was like, they asked for Godzilla song. The first thing that popped in my head was fucking Blue Oyster Cult. So I was like, this is what we're listening to, okay? And they loved it.
Okay.
It was great. So it's fucking awesome.
That's new to me, but cool. All right. So then, what else have we been listening to this week?
In the last 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
All right, so let us go to the Instagram account for our hashtag albums of the day. All right, where did I leave? Okay, I left off here. So I think on the Friday of the last recording happened to be International Women's Day. So on that day, I listened to one of my favorites, Royal Thunder. You can't get enough of her. And Diamonds. Honorable mention from top 3 a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was.
It was a fun one.
Yeah.
It's a short one, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And we went through some classic bands, but modern releases. Overkill, The Wings of War, really got into that one, and I
Yeah,
have to do my mea culpa here. And yeah, I lied when I said it wasn't that great. It's amazing.
Well, I don't think you ever said it wasn't that great. You just said it was an overkill record.
Right. I said that you know what to expect with an Overkill record, and this exceeded expectations upon subsequent listens. Let's just say that. The more I listened to it, the more I liked it, and the more it got stuck in my head, and just the more amazing it was. And again, we've mentioned this about 1,000 times. Modern technology and thrash metal is a perfect marriage.
Especially for a band that is as presumably as well to do as Overkill. They have the capability of getting finer sound.
And it's just like the just brutality of it is really good, and the crispness of all they play a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And we're not going to say this is Amadeus and say they're playing too many notes, but they're playing a lot of notes. You can hear every single last one of them. There's no mud involved. It's just clear, and you can hear everything, and it's amazing. And there's no worry about losing the bass in this one. But there is that band Metallica I listen to. But I listen to Hardwired to Self-Destruct, disc 1 only. Because that's the better one.
Yeah, it is.
Of the two. Alright, went back for some Throwback Thursday here for Malphus. The album's called Entities. I don't even think the band exists anymore because when I looked them up on Instagram and Twitter, their account hasn't been very active in the last year or two.
That doesn't seem to mean much. A lot of bands,
This is
all of the
also
bands
very
that we
true.
cover on the S5, like even as local bands, they have minimal activity on Facebook, but they're still doing something, probably recording or something like that.
Alright, we got self-titled I Hate God record from a couple years ago, and of course a classic King Diamond Abigail.
That is classic.
Classic. Double down on some Iced Earth with the last two records, Plagues of Babylon and Incorruptible.
Mm-hmm.
Woman Crush Wednesday saw me listen to some Within Temptation, The Heart of Everything, and The Rise of the Tyrant, Arch Enemy. And then I doubled down yesterday on Down.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that post, and I was.
I was feeling a little down yesterday.
I think you may have heard me groan.
As I was writing it, I heard you groan. It was amazing. Puns, motherfucker.
I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck?
Anyway, I listened to the Purple EP and Part 4, Part 2, remembering that this was supposed to be a 4-part EP series. We only got 2 parts. Phil, where's the rest of it, you motherfucker?
He's with the illegals right now.
Yeah, I know. He comes up later on in our
Yeah, he does.
podcast.
I saw that.
Been listening to some Black Sabbath in preparation for our next 10-word reviews, which we have to work on.
Yeah, I gotta add the space to write the reviews.
Yeah. I've been listening to some of the S5 bands from the last episode that we just posted this past Monday. And also, in preparation for next episode, I got 2 more bands I've been listening to. I'm going to check out 3 more just so I can get my 5 new bands for our little list here. And Mr. Daniel here gave me the last 3 records by Blaze Bayley, his concept trilogy. I listened to the first 2. The second one is by far better than the first one.
Yeah, the first one is the weakest of the 3.
Uh-huh.
So and again the third one kind of brings it all home. The second one is so fucking good.
The second one's really good.
Yeah, it is so good.
So
that was what got me back into him, and man, it is a killer record.
Speaking of Blaze Bayley, it's really interesting to point out that I don't know if I mentioned this, but we've talked about a band on here called the Dirty Covers. They're a cover band out of Long Island.
They're opening for him, right?
Yeah. So Blaze Bayley is playing a show on Long Island, and the Dirty Covers is opening up for them. So that should be a lot of fun.
Right on.
Anybody on Long Island, go check it out.
Yeah, I wish it was coming to San Antonio again. That was awesome. That was bucket list material right there. That was also that was the day that I had to. I was between 2 concerts, and in between 2 concerts, I had to drive back home because there was a gigantic spider on our door, and Lindsay wouldn't do anything about it.
Dan, I'm gonna burn the house down.
That's almost how it was. But it was like, whoa. It was a big spider. I was like, man, that is ugly. Give me a broom.
That's one ugly motherfucker.
You ugly son of... Alright, let me pull up my list. So I forgot to write it on here at first, but I listened to Ambion, which is one of the side projects from Arian Lukasen. It's kind of his remix album. For those who don't know, what he did was he took everything that he had written up to Universal Migrator Part 2 and kind of did a more ethereal, quote-unquote, remix to it. So like you as you listen to it, you can hear parts of songs that he's done already. And he had a new singer, a very young singer, come in and sing new lyrics over these remixes. So it's kind of hard to call it a remix album, but technically it's what it is. But I bought the special edition of it, which has the album itself, which I like a lot. And then I guess they were going to tour, or they were going to play shows, acoustic shows with that singer. And they recorded their prep sessions for it.
Oh, rehearsals?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they recorded the rehearsal sessions for that. And I listened to some of that. Their cover, or their version of House on Mars, which was originally done by Johan Englund from Tiamat. Their version of it on these rehearsals is awesome. So I listened to that first. Then Gamma Ray Majestic. This is actually one of the albums that actually got me interested in playing drums. There's a song on here called Blood Religion, and I used to carry around a set of drumsticks in my car way back in college. This is 2005, I think the album came out, and I used to actually drum along to this song because it was just so much fun. It's a great song, great album. Probably the last album that I heard from Gamma Ray. Unfortunately, I haven't kept up with them as much as I should have. Next up, Iced Earth, Something Wicked This Way Comes, the original Something Wicked This Way Comes. Listen to it from start to finish, probably for the first time ever, like from start to finish, one shot.
Really?
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of awesome. Midnight Eternal. I saw them open up for God, who was it? I think it was Queensryche. Might have been. I think it was Queensryche. But female-fronted, kind of symphonic heavy metal. Very, very good band. Very distinct vocals. The vocalist is a lot higher than most. But definitely a lot of interesting stuff on there. Moonspell 1755. It's an album that I got from one of the Pat Gessner boxes of fun.
Woo!
And it was pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure most of the album is in Latin. It was like really early morning, and I was like playing it on low because I was in the office and you were asleep. So I had to...
Oh, you think that's going to wake my ass up?
It might. I don't know.
Dude, I sleep through my phone. I sleep through the fucking apocalypse.
Had a double dose of Power Man 5000 just out of the blue. I read a thing recently about where Spider One, the singer of Power Man 5000, rated his own albums. Like... someone like he gets apparently he gets asked like what's your favorite Power Man album, so he rated them all one by one, like what's his favorite, what's his least favorite. And so I listened to what was actually listed as his favorite, which is somewhere on the other side of nowhere, which is a awesome record, albeit a very short record. And then Tonight the Stars Revolt, which is the album that brought them to commercial prominence. You can really hear a difference, an evolution in his singing style between the two, because there's 12 years between the two albums, so you can hear the evolution of his voice between the two, and I love Powerman 5000. So when they come around here again, stupid West Coast tour can suck it. When they come around here again, I will be seeing them again because I think I've seen them like 3-4 times. At
Yeah,
this
you've seen them
point.
a handful of times.
Yeah, I will go see them again because they are a great show live. They are fantastic live. Listen to Raven Black 7 Sins EP. They're on tour right now with Cradle of Filth. But I haven't had a chance to buy their new album yet. But I listened to the EP just to kind of get a refresher of their sound and everything. Metal Church, Hanging in the Balance. My favorite Metal Church album. It's the last one featuring Mike Howe before he left the band, and obviously now he's back in the band. This is kind of, I'm trying to motivate myself to go out and go to the store on the weekend and go buy myself one of the tickets to the show in April because they're coming around here in April.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to motivate myself to go do that. So that's my attempt. And the last one I listened to was actually this morning, to and from work, Grave Shadow, Ambition's Price, the new album from Grave Shadow, which is awesome. They've really stepped it up from the first album. It's less catchy, but a lot more melodic, and it has a song that is about The Legend of Zelda, and I can't argue with that.
No.
Well, yeah, and when they specifically pull out the line, "It's dangerous to go alone," I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's dangerous to go alone.
One more thing I did listen to this week is only because I'm trying to get in touch with one of my kids' doctors, and I'm trying to get this motherfucker on the phone. I went ahead and listened to Faith No More, Soul Invictus yesterday.
Get that motherfucker on the phone.
It's solely for that reason.
Whenever you're having trouble with your phone, they need to have that as like part of a commercial of some kind.
Get the motherfucker
Fucker on the phone. That'd be great. Just like instead of like the guy that jumped ship from one to the other.
Yeah, the one from Verizon to Sprint or whatever.
Sprint, yeah, get the Sprint guy up there, and then just have him like trying to make a phone call, and then have just Mike Patton appear and
Out of nowhere.
just hand him a phone.
Get the motherfucker on the phone. On the phone.
That would be too much.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd buy a phone just for that.
Yeah, it would.
I would jump ship to whatever company decided to do that from AT&T.
Yeah. They've all got the money, Just pay the man. Get the
motherfucker on the phone.
yeah. That's all you gotta do. I mean, he does a lot of random work, so I'm sure that he'd be willing to appear in your commercial. He's done video game voices. I'm sure he'll do commercials at this point. So let's move on to all of our news and whatnot. And I think I don't have the script up. We think we start off with obituary.
Yes, we try to get the bummer stuff out of the way.
Try to.
Bernie Torme passed away on Sunday, March 17th at the age of 66. The guitarist's death was confirmed by his family, who issued the following statement. Bernie passed away peacefully on the 17th of March 2019, one day short of his 67th birthday, surrounded by his family. He had been on life support for the past 4 weeks at a London hospital following post-flu complications. He will be remembered for dedicating his life to his music for 5 decades. He will be sorely missed. I believe the last time we talked about this, he was just hospitalized for double pneumonia.
I was gonna say this is the one with double pneumonia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
And remember his legacy, of course, being his own band Torme, and also being the gentleman who stepped into the enormous shoes of Randy Rhoads after the plane crash that took Randy's life.
Yeah. Apparently, he was also supposed to form a band with Dee Snider.
I believe there. I saw something about that too. Yeah.
They were supposed to form a band together, but they scrapped it ultimately. But yeah.
All right, so that's the bummer. Let's get on to some general news here.
All right.
Okay, a Watain, like Watain,
I think it's Watain.
Watain, but they had a concert in Singapore canceled over concerns about the Swedish black metal band's history of, quote, denigrating religions and promoting violence. The Infocom Media Development Authority released a statement saying it had earlier allowed the show, which was due to be held at EBX Live Space, to take place with a rating of restricted 18. I guess they have like a rating for their shows.
Wow.
Kind of like movies.
Wow.
However, the Ministry of Home Affairs determined that the performance should not go ahead.
The Ministry of Performances.
The Ministry of Home Affairs
Home Affairs.
determined that the performance should not go ahead.
Okay, that's not a home affair. They don't live at the venue.
I don't think that's what that means, Dan.
That's what it sounds like.
No. Like Homeland Security,
Oh.
Home Affairs.
Oh, then just say Homeland Security. God.
Well, this is Singapore, not America. Okay?
Okay, get your canes. Wax some asses.
All right. Megadeth have partnered with publisher Heavy Metal to create a new graphic novel celebrating the band's 35th anniversary. The 350-page anthology fleshes out stories inspired by each of the songs on Megadeth's forthcoming Greatest Hits collection, Warheads on Foreheads, which is due today.
So yes, 10 pages per song.
10 pages per song.
I'm surprised that more artists haven't gone with the way that artists have been going. I'm surprised that more haven't gone the way of graphic novels and comic books.
Yeah.
The last two that I know of that I bought, one was about Faith No More. I think going all the way back to even Chuck Mosley days, and the second one was one about Alice Cooper. It was one specifically like where Alice Cooper was the character, not just like a story about the band. It was Alice Cooper as a version of Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just surprised that a lot more don't go that way. It's all alcohol related and not like.
I wonder if do we have an alcoholic one? We do have an alcoholic one today. Sweet.
Or,
All right. I think we got a little bit of something for every bit of news here.
Yeah.
This week. All right, let's just continue here.
Okay.
Lordi's longtime bassist Ox will leave the Finnish hard rock band after this summer's festival appearances. The musician, whose real name is Samir El Nahal, explained in a statement, "It has come the day that I have to tell you that I will be leaving Lordi. There is no drama, no major issues or anything like that. I just feel very strong urge to do something else in music and be available for other musical journeys, whatever those will be."
I mean, I'm wondering. We mentioned this recently with the whole thing with Guar and Lordi and everything. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do now. They're gonna get another character. They're gonna. I mean, it's bass, so
yeah.
I mean, they can do what they want.
Oh, murder face. All right, the Godfathers of Hardcore documentary, which is currently available on Showtime On Demand, follows Roger Miret and Vinny Stigma of Agnostic Front, the legendary New York hardcore band that played a key role in defining, shaping, and establishing the sound and culture code of conduct for the still thriving movement. That sounds like an awesome documentary. Wish I had Showtime. Would love to find that anywhere else.
Hey, you might have it soon. You don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. All right, we got two cancellations here. First up, according to snuff.co.nz, Philip Anselmo's concert in New Zealand has been cancelled in the wake of the terror attacks at Christchurch mosques, which left 50 dead. Anselmo was due to play with his solo project Philip H. Anselmo and the Illegals in Christchurch on March 26th and in Auckland on March 27th. But those shows have now been called off, apparently in part because of an incident more than 3 years ago when Anselmo gave the right arm salute and yelled a white supremacist slogan at a California concert. The Christchurch show was originally scheduled for inner city venue Empire. The gig has then shifted to Club Tavern, which has now publicly announced the Anselmo concert will not go ahead.
Yeah, especially considering that incident, smooth move.
Yeah.
Sorry, very smart move.
Well, in wake of this same terrorist attack, Slayer's March 17th concert in Christchurch, New Zealand was canceled following those shootings. It actually left 50 people dead and 50 people injured. I did not know there was that many casualties. The decision to call off the show at Horncastle Arena was announced by Tim Scandrett, who's the board chairman of V-Base, which is the company that owns and operates the venue. He said the concert, which was slated to feature Anthrax in the support slot, was scrapped after talks with the police and the Christchurch City Council. He is quoted as saying, "We understand fans may be disappointed. However, we feel that it is in the best interest for the safety and well-being of the public after the tragic events which unfolded across our city 24 hours ago."
Now, this is a matter of not the band canceling, but the city or the venue itself canceling.
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if allowed to, would the band have gone through with it?
Probably.
Probably.
Apparently, this is supposed to be their final show and the tour. I mean, the tour is the final tour of Slayer, but it's their final show final shows in New Zealand. So,
well,
we'll see what happens if they decide to.
So they say.
Yeah, if they decide to reschedule.
Yeah.
All right, let's get up to some better news here.
Yeah.
Carilli Leone. Rhapsody. This is a new version of Rhapsody, everybody.
For fuck's sake.
The band featuring original Rhapsody members Luca Turilli and Fabio Leone, along with former Rhapsody members Dominique Lecrin, Patrice Gears, and Alex Halsworth. They have signed to Nuclear Blast and King Records for Japan and the rest of Asia for the release of its debut album. The band is currently mixing the disc for a summer release.
So, we're still down to two versions of Rhapsody, because originally it was Rhapsody of Fire and Luca Turilli's Rhapsody.
Yeah.
But now if Luca Turilli is back with Fabio Leone, then it's that version. So still two versions of Rhapsody. I thought Fabio was doing something else though.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought he was singer of another band at this point. I can't remember which band it was though. But it's hard to keep up with them. I thought the thing was they were gonna reunite get the band back together, the original band, and they were gonna do like a final tour under the name of Rhapsody.
Well, they probably did that, but now these two guys and other members of the band, former members of the band, wanted to do something else.
No, because Rhapsody of Fire just released a new album recently.
Oh, well, then who the fuck knows what the hell's going on?
It hurts. It hurts. There's so much.
Let's just stick with Bohemian Rhapsody and call it that.
Yeah.
All right, one more bit of general news here. Century Media Records has announced the signing of Demons and Wizards to a worldwide deal. All right, but prior to the release of their new studio album, which they're working on right now, looking at a 2020 release, Century Media will release Demons and Wizards' first two albums as reworked special editions. Remastered by Chris Zeus Harris, who's worked with Iced Earth, Queensryche, and Sanctuary, these two releases will be out on June 6th as limited edition digipack and limited deluxe 2 LP releases with bonus material and liner notes by both members, which is Hansi and John Schaefer.
Which makes you wonder what kind of bonus material we're talking about, because the last two albums, the bonus material, I believe, were cover songs. One was White Room.
So good.
Yes, their cover of White Room was great. And then the second album, I think it was part of the actual album. I don't think it was a special edition, but they did Immigrant Song. So.
Well, either way, I don't have physical copies of either one of these records.
Yeah, so you need to
So
work
this
on
is
that.
probably gonna be something I jump on.
Yeah. I'd consider getting the first one on vinyl. That would be awesome.
So I'm gonna have to look that up later on today on Amazon.
Yeah.
All right, so this next bit of this next section, I had to make it separately, and I just call it Metallica breaking shit. Okay. We could also just call it live shit, because it's concerning their live shows. Anyway,
Metallica live shit, Binge and Purge.
pretty much, yeah. All right, so Metallica's March 9th concert at Louisville, Kentucky's KFC Yum Center. Yum Center.
I saw that and I was like,
This
dude,
is the most ridiculous name for a venue ever,
it-
but it's in Kentucky.
Okay, it's like that scene in basketball.
Yes.
With the Maxi Pad Arena.
Yes, the Preparation H Arena. Oh, it's too bad. Anyway, it makes me think of there's a scene in Jurassic World where they're trying to they're creating this new dinosaur and they want a sponsor. So the Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex, and one of the guys is like, "Why don't you just have these companies name the dinosaurs like the Tostitodon?" Like, oh my god, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. All right, anyway. But they shattered the venue's attendance record with a crowd of 23,084 fans on hand. The previous record was held by country legend George Strait, who drew 21,700 fans in 2014. This is also the second time that they beat George Strait.
Man, they have a hate on for George Strait.
Yeah, really. Yeah, like, fuck that guy. Where did he play? How many people? Fuck that guy. All right, anyway. Next up, in the same thing, Metallica breaking shit. According to IndieStar.com, Metallica's March 11th concert at a Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, shattered the venue's attendance record with a crowd of 18,274 fans on hand. The previous record was held by Billy Joel, who drew 16,594 fans in 2017. He fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Billy Joel.
Actually, I read something about Billy Joel recently. I don't know if it's true or not, but he apparently doesn't sell tickets to his front row at.
That's what I understand too.
Yeah, and it's because he lets the fans in the higher up seats come down and sit there so they can actually appreciate the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
All right. That's Metallica breaking shit. All right, because we've been talking about that a lot, so that I've had to make that its own separate thing.
Yeah, seriously, because it's come up every single week, every single.
And there were
podcast.
actually two back-to-back stories like that. So
Yeah.
and it probably we've talked about this before. It really has to do with the fact that they're playing in the round. They got a small square stage, and they could just pack the general admission.
Yeah.
Just pack it. All right, so next up we got Feuden. Dude, just get over it.
We need to change the name of that section.
We're getting over it. Okay.
I'm trying. It's just.
Anyway, Lamb of God vocalist Randy Blythe, he organized a quote counterparty to the religious extremist hate group, the Westboro Baptist Church, on Monday, March 11th in Richmond, Virginia. That quote-unquote church was announced that they will be protesting Danica Rome, who is a transgender metal musician / journalist who made history when she was elected into the Virginia's House of Delegates in November of 2014. So they were going to be protesting her. Randy Blythe organized a counterparty. Not a counter protest, because that means you have to engage these people. He decided to call it a counter party. Speaking via his Instagram Blythe revealed his plans to counter their protests with the aid of 100 kazoos.
That's the best part of it.
It's like not only is he just doing a counterpart, he's doing the most ridiculous thing ever to counter these people.
With a kazoo.
100 kazoos. And he encouraged all walks of life to come down and pretty much stick it to these sons of bitches who have been known to not only protest heavy metal concerts, but Dio's funeral and the funeral of our troops here. So.
Yeah, they're fucking ridiculous. But I'm just imagining like one of the members coming home and it's like, oh, you're home early. Fucking kazoos.
Apparently, it was a very successful counterparty because I heard that they were loud enough to drown out the church and that they just kind of called their protest off.
It's 100 kazoo.
The only thing that could be possibly worse is 100 recorders.
The only thing that would make that even better is if they were in unison playing like songs. Like they were playing metal songs. Like they did like Master of Puppets to kazoos. That's the only way that this would have been better.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Van Canto, you've been beaten
By kazoos.
by kazoos.
Oh, okay, here we go. A federal court in Michigan has denied Grand Funk Railroad's motion for a preliminary injunction to stop former singer Mark Farner from using the band name Mark Farner's American Band. In a 26-page opinion, the Honorable Gordon J. Quist of the United States District Court judge for the Western District of Michigan found that Grand Funk Railroad, quote, fails to show a strong likelihood of success, that Farner's use of Mark Farner's American Band creates a likelihood of confusion among consumers. The ruling on the preliminary injunction motion does not end the case. It will now proceed through the discovery phase.
Yeah, I didn't get this one because I was like, it's not even remotely close. It's
right.
Not, it's like they don't want to mention that one of the members is Canadian. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just making a joke, but like I think that this sounds kind of petty.
Yeah. It's not like he's saying it like it's Mark Farner's Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. It's not like all the other bullshit.
Like we just talked about with Rhapsody.
Yeah, but it's not like all the other bullshit that we've talked about in the past with like what Rad and
all Quiet
Riot and all that, and whatever else.
L.A. Guns.
Yeah, it's not like all that shit. This at least is an attempt to differentiate. So I mean, if you hadn't told me about this lawsuit, I would have no idea who the fuck Mark Farner is. So
right.
So you really got to know your shit to really appreciate who you're seeing there.
Yeah. All right. So this one got messy fast.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to read what started it and then the ending. All right. So according to The Blast, Slipknot percussionist Chris Fenn filed a lawsuit against his bandmates, claiming that he hasn't been properly compensated for his years of touring with the group. In his lawsuit, he claims to have always been told that the money from merchandise and touring is funneled through one sole company that splits profits and pays the members of the band. However, he claims he recently discovered that his bandmates have set up several other Slipknot-affiliated business entities in different states that appear to be collecting money from the band. Fenn says he was unaware of the separate companies and claims to have never received a dime from them. He specifically accuses band leaders Sean Crane and Corey Taylor of shady business dealings. He wants a full forensic accounting done on Slipknot's companies and assets and to collect the damages and profits he believes he is owed. Just a few days after that, he announced that, Slipknot said, "Fuck you, you're fired." essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Slipknot said in a statement, Slipknot's focus is on making album number 6 in our upcoming shows around the world. Chris knows why he's no longer part of Slipknot. We are disappointed that he chose to point fingers and manufacture claims rather than doing what was necessary to continue to be part of Slipknot. We would rather have preferred to not take the path he has, but evolution in all things is a necessary part of this life.
I'm wondering. There's going to be more to this. I know this is going to end up in our old business section.
Yeah, I believe just today, and I didn't put it in here because we hadn't talked about anything yet. There was more details about the lawsuit, so
Yeah.
that'll probably be in the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, but like, I know that Corey Taylor, of course, is a busy man himself. Sean Crane, I think, has a lot of dealings outside of Slipknot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is one of those things that's like, you guys are getting more than me because of Slipknot. Like this is like kind of a paranoia thing or not. If the money that they're getting is actually from Slipknot or from their outside endeavors, because they both have outside endeavors.
right.
So
Well, we will see.
Yeah.
We will see. Now the question is like, would they pick up another percussionist? Because the fact of the matter is he necessary? Do they really need 9 guys up there? I mean, they probably will just to maintain that aesthetic that they've like worked with for the last 20 years. But is it really necessary?
dude, you're asking a 20-year-old question.
True. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Because the same could be said for their main man here, Sean. You know, he's another percussionist, and like, does he really do anything? I know he's like the hype man, but I don't know. I think Slipknot can service very well as a 5-piece.
Well, they say he's one of the band leaders, so he's got to have some sort of pull around, besides.
I don't know. I mean, when Paul Gray passed away, they talked about him being the main songwriter.
Huh.
That Paul Gray was the main songwriter of Slipknot.
You never know.
So, anyway, moving on to our next section here. One of my favorites, even though I don't drink anymore, Alcoholica. All right, here we go. Sun and Steel is the first lager in the Trooper range and is one of the most complex beers that Robinson's Brewery have ever produced. It is a double fermented lager created with authentic Japanese sake yeast. The idea for the beer, designed once again by Iron Maiden vocalist and beer aficionado Bruce Dickinson, along with Robinson's head brewer Martin Weeks, was first conceived during the autumn of 2016 following a meeting between Bruce and friend of the band and longtime Iron Maiden fan George Yusa, who's the owner of the 300-year-old family-run sake brewery in Fukushima. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the sake brewery's name. Bruce became intrigued with the idea of putting the two flavorful flavor profiles together, and thus Sun and Steel was born. George was able to deliver a sample of the sake yeast to Iron Maiden's 2017 concert at London's O2 Arena, which Bruce took up to Robinson's Brewery. Having obtained permission from the Japanese government to brew with it, Martin and the team have been carefully cultivating the strain ever since.
That's cool.
It is super cool.
Again, not being a drinker anymore, it's kind of it's one of those things that, like, if I still were, that's one of the things I would definitely want to try.
Number one, I love sake bombs when I was a drinker.
Uh-huh.
So it sounds exactly just like a sake bomb in a can.
Yeah.
So it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And if, again, like you said, if I was a drinker too, I'd pick this bad boy
Yeah,
up.
this is one of those things that you'd go for just for the sake of saying I've tried it and so on.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next up, merchandising. Did you get it?
I still haven't gotten the clip.
Fucker. I thought you were pulling it up. I was like, oh,
no,
dude.
my friggin' tablet keeps going on standby. I'm waiting for crowdfunding.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so under the title of merchandising here, we have Nine Inch Nails and Marvel have teamed up to release a limited edition shirt in conjunction with the premiere of the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe film, Captain Marvel. In that film, Brie Larson stars as the title character, who's called Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and is seen in a white classic Nine Inch Nails shirt in keeping with the film's 1990 setting. This new shirt comes about as a result of Marvel approaching the band and matches up the logos of the legendary industrial outfit and Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a cool looking shirt. It's very like plain, but it has like the Captain Marvel logo with the Nine Inch Nails logo like around it or like over it. Of course, you got your purists out there crying "sell out, sell out, sell out," but fuck you.
Sell out
It's awesome.
on behalf of Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Dude, Nine Inch Nails has done so much other shit. Like, this is tip of iceberg.
Well, not only that, but it's like, to have like a band like that recognized in a movie that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Jesus, get over it,
Yeah. Quit crying.
please. It's not a kiss casket, okay?
Yeah, seriously, shut up.
All right. That's the only bit of merchandising news this week.
Okay.
Moving on to recording news. Recording news today.
Okay.
Guitarist Marzi Montazeri and vocalist Kyle Thomas, otherwise recognized as members of Ex-Hoarder, have announced their aggressive metal project Heavy as Texas. Heavy as Texas plans to release its self-titled album on April 19th via Crunchy. This is great. Crunchy Western Records.
That sounds like a meal.
Right? A crunchy Western. Yeah, I want something that's crunchy and Western.
That sounds like fried steak.
Or I was gonna say fried jalapeno poppers.
Yeah, something like that.
Like something like ridiculous. Anyway, pre-orders are available now via iTunes and the band's official website, heavyastexas.com. All right, Avatar will release a new live album titled The King live in Paris on May 17th via Entertainment One. Recorded live at Download Festival 2018 in Paris, France, the effort underscores fan favorites such as A Salute of the King, Let It Burn, and Hail the Apocalypse.
Right on.
Tool appears to have to be finalizing the mastering of his long-awaited new album. On March 7th, the band shared a photo of guitarist Adam Jones, bassist Justin Chancellor, and drummer Danny Carey, alongside the album's producer-engineer Joe Barresi and mastering engineer Bob Ludwig, who previously mastered Tool's most recent discs, 2006's 10,000 Days.
It's amazing that album came out 13 years ago, because I remember buying it.
Right.
From Tower Records.
And I actually also remember The Pot being a hot single on K-Rock in Manhattan. Yep. Godflesh Apocalypse's fifth studio album, Veleno.
Flesh God Apocalypse.
That's what I said?
You said Godflesh.
Oh, Flesh God Apocalypse. My bad. Wow. I read it backwards. Backwards.
There is a Godflesh band.
There is a Godflesh. I know. That's probably why I did it by mistake. Anyway, they have officially been slated for a May 24th release on Nuclear Blast for that new album that you sidetracked me on.
No, Veleno.
Yeah, Veleno. That one. Fucker. Soundgarden have announced a new album of the Month Club in celebration of the band's 35th anniversary this year. 35th?
Yeah. 87 was their first release.
Motherfucker.
So.
Wow. Anyway, that series will see a new colored vinyl release of their past records released every month, starting with the 5-time multi-platinum Super Unknown on April 5th. Other albums planned for the series include Louder Than Love, Bad Motorfinger, Down on the Upside, and King Animal. A bonus lithograph featuring their recently unveiled 35th anniversary artwork is also included with the full set.
Right on.
Marilyn Manson is putting the finishing touches on his new studio album for a tentative late 2019 release.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that since doing this podcast, this is the third Manson album to come out.
Yeah,
Because The Pale Emperor came out shortly when we started.
right.
And then
The last one came out.
yeah,
I forgot what he changed the name
he
to.
yeah, it was like something of heaven.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
supposed to be Say 10 because it
Yeah.
was his 10th album, but he changed it.
Yeah, it was like the downside of heaven or something like that or whatever.
And the thing is, the interesting thing about it is I'm not particularly sure about the last record, but The Pale Emperor got pretty high critical acclaim.
Yeah,
Like he's getting more critical acclaim now than he did ever back then,
yeah.
which is interesting to hear.
And yet no Westboro Baptist Church thing for him.
I think they know not to fuck with that.
Well, well, you don't want the kazoos in your face. Fucking kazoos.
Fucking kazoos.
Fucking kazoos.
Fucking Chuck Norris. Possessed released their first full-length album in over 3 decades. Revelations of Oblivion on May 10th via Nuclear Blast.
I think Possess is the band that has one of the members of Primus in it.
Not particularly sure.
I think that's the case.
Les Claypool?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember his name. It's the guitar player.
Fuck, what is his name?
Yeah, I
don't
can't remember.
All right, Abath. Of course, the solo project of former Immortal frontman Abath will release its second album, Outstrider, on July 5th via Season of Mist. The disc was recorded at Dub Studios in Kristiansand, Norway, with producer Andre Kirk Esola. All right, who has previously worked with Blood Red Throne, Green Carnation, Sirenia, and In Vain, among others. Outstrider consists of 8 original songs and a cover version of the Bathory classic Pace Till Death.
Right on.
Tesseract vocalist Daniel Tompkins will release his solo debut Castles on May 31st through Kscope.
You gonna order that?
More than likely.
Yeah.
Dark Throne released their new album Old Star on May 31st via Peaceville. And last but not least here, waiting for the be able to pre-order it on Amazon, Amon Amarth will release their new album Berserker on May 3rd via Metal Blade Records. The disc was recorded at Fear Studios in North Hollywood, California, with producer Jay Rustin, who has previously worked with Anthrax, Steel Panther, Uriah Heep, and Stone Sour.
Have you seen the cover of the album?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's so Viking.
Have you seen remember I showed you that cover picture of the Grand Magus album?
Uh-huh.
Well, another one appeared, and I think it's the actual cover of the album, and it's even better. So, and it's not too much different than this Berserker cover.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing about the Grand Magus record is I pre-ordered it, and then I got a message from Amazon that that they didn't have any. I was like,
yeah,
and they canceled my order. I was like, well, of course you don't have any. It's a pre-order, dipshits. So they canceled my order, so I had to reorder it.
That's annoying.
A pain in my ass.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's reordered again, so I got it on pre-order, fuckers. Anyway, but I'm waiting for the Amon Amarth one to come up so I can pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, the next up is The Good That Men Do, and then your crowdfunding.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Good That Men Do. Sammy Hagar has announced the lineup for his 6th annual Acoustic for a Cure benefit concert, set to take place on May 15th at the Fillmore in San Francisco. Artists performing at Acoustic for a Cure 6 include, in alphabetical order here, Tom Johnston of the Doobie Brothers, Chad Kroeger of Nickelback, Lucas Nelson, Joe Satriani, Rick Springfield, Nancy Wilson of Heart, and Sammy Hagar and the Circle, featuring Michael Anthony. Acoustic for a Cure is a concert benefiting the Pediatric Cancer Program at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital.
Right on.
This is one that James Hetfield typically performs at.
Yeah.
or Metallica acoustically performs at. So I'm surprised that they're not involved this year. Probably because they're so busy.
Well, May 15th is still a fair distance away, so
Yeah.
they're not too busy shattering records. all
Yeah,
over
just
the
breaking
goddamn
shit
place.
or just going up to George Strait and dicking him in the face.
Unzip, blah.
Mushroom stamp to the forehead. Teabagging all over your face.
All right, so we're up to.
That's a nice indoor record you got there, George. Be ashamed if somebody just balled it.
Yeah. Okay, so
Balls deep in your shit, George.
I'm not playing the clip. So crowdfunding tracker. I had mentioned last time that A Sound of Thunder is back yet again on Kickstarter, and they are doing another crowdfunding thing for a live Blu-ray called Live from the Dead Side. They have met their stretch goal, which they're currently sitting at 21,790. Their original goal.
Christ.
Their original goal was $12,000.
Yeah.
So they have 7 days to go on it. So they might double it by the time they finish, which I'm sure is more stretch goal goodness for us. But what excites me about this is one of the stretch goal things was when they recorded the video a few years ago. One of their music videos, they actually recorded a full-length concert similar to how this concert was done. So they have a second full-length concert just in the can, and they said if we meet the stretch goal, we're putting that concert on this Blu-ray.
Sweet.
They met the stretch goal, so now there's going to be 2 shows on this DVD, so or on this Blu-ray. So I'm fucking excited for that. So it's like a double whammy. It's a show from 2014. So I'm excited for that.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
So yeah, so good for them. I mean, it's no surprise, honestly, because they always kill it on Kickstarter. It's how they've pretty much thrived the last few years. They start a Kickstarter, they're gonna pass it, no problem whatsoever. I'd be surprised the day comes where they can't meet a goal in Kickstarter. But I'm really looking forward to this one. So
Nice.
yeah,
Sounds great. All right, what do we got here?
we're up to concert news.
Concert news. All right, starting off first with festivals. According to Variety, Robert Plant, Greta Van Fleet, The Black Keys, and Cage the Elephant are among the artists who are rumored to be performing at Woodstock 50, set to take place August 16th through the 18th in Watkins Glen, New York, about an hour and a half away from the original Woodstock site. Woodstock 69's co-producer and co-founder Michael Lang told Billboard that the official lineup of more than 80 artists will be announced in the coming weeks.
Are you sure that it's not just Greta Van Fleet, that actually Robert Plant is actually playing?
As a matter of fact, shortly after that, it was confirmed that Robert Plant, the singer of Led Zeppelin, is performing at Woodstock 50.
Okay, just making
And so
sure.
is Greta Van Fleet,
Just-
Led Zeppelin Jr., whatever you want to call it.
Just making sure.
All right, let's get into regular touring here. Cannibal Corpse will embark on a European tour in June. Just continuing on despite the issues they've had with their guitarist.
Well, they already.
That's already been announced, yeah.
they
They've been
already
touring
replaced them.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Neurosis have announced a new North American tour for this summer with Bell Witch and Deaf Kids also on the bill.
I would like to go see that.
I don't remember if there was a San Antonio date. Probably not.
I doubt there was. You didn't mark it
I
down.
didn't put it in, so.
So I assume there wasn't.
Warbringer and Enforcer have revealed the dates for a lengthy North American co-headlining tour. There is a San Antonio date for that on October 17th at the Rock Box.
I like Enforcer, so I think I'd go see that.
I like Warbringer, so that is a distinct possibility depending on the day of the week.
Yep.
Metallica and Slipknot will be touring Australia and New Zealand together later this year. That trek will commence in October.
I was gonna say if it happened sooner, they might run into more problems with that, with New Zealand.
Yeah.
But
That's in October.
that's in October.
Tool has announced nearly a dozen U.S. tour dates in May. Nothing here, obviously.
Yeah, I don't see them visiting San Antonio. Honestly. Oh yeah, you saw them in San Antonio.
Yeah, I saw them here just a few years ago. You recorded us talking about it.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. Powerman 5000 will head out west next month on the West Coast Death Ray Fun Time Invasion Tour.
Why can't you do like the South Time Invasion Tour or something? Come back here.
Southside Death Ray Fun Time Invasion Tour. I like that sound.
Texas Death Ray. Come on, that's the band. Dude, band name. Patent pending.
Ted Nugent has announced 13 new U.S. shows, which are set to take place between the middle of July and end of August. The trek will once again feature Greg Smith, who's played with Billy Joel, Alice Cooper, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow on bass, and Jason Hartless. That's just a great name. Who's played with Joe Lynn Turner and Mitch Ryder on drums, and of course the Motor City Madman himself on lead guitar and vocals.
We've seen Ted Nugent, so
Yeah.
I don't need to see him again.
Yeah. Deicide will embark on the Overtures of Blasphemy North American tour in May. Support on the trek will come from Origin, Jungle Rot, and The Absence.
That is a great album, not album title, a title for a tour.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of bands that haven't changed in forever, Deicide.
yeah. Well, why bother?
Exactly. All right, one-offs. Philip Anselmo's En Minor.
I thought it was N minor.
En Minor, En Minor. I don't know how, whatever. We can call it En Minor if you want to go phonetically.
Yeah.
Anyway, that project will make its live debut at this year's Psycho Las Vegas Festival, set to take place August 16th to the 18th at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. The band, which is influenced by the classic goth period of the 80s with artists like The Cure and Sisters of Mercy, has completed a debut album which has yet to see the light of day. In a recent interview with DamnationVault.com, Anselmo described the En Minor LP as the darkest, heaviest, most miserable shit I've ever written. He also said that he still did not have a set release date for the LP, despite the fact that it has been done since 2015.
What's up with that?
I don't know. That seems kind of counterintuitive for Phil.
Yeah.
Usually it feels like he records something, he puts it out. He records something, he puts it out. He tours on it, he puts it out. He has like 8 bands going on at the same time.
It's probably the same case as Down 3 and 4, the EPs.
Fucker. Anyway, here's a ridiculous one. It's amazing. It's like whatever. Metallica will team up with the San Francisco Symphony on September 6th to open the new Chase Center in San Francisco.
Break that record already.
The classical musicians and classic rockers will be the first acts to perform at the new 18,064-seat arena that will serve as home to the NBA team Golden State Warriors in the fall.
Now they're gonna break that record.
Well, they gotta set it first, then they gotta break it. Whose record you breaking this time?
How
Our
many-
fucking own.
How many seats are there? No, there's not. There's a few more.
Seats? We don't need no.
Put that guy next to the celloist over there.
We don't need no stinking seats. Hanging from the rafters.
I actually heard that there was a lot of fan backlash about this because of the fact that bots cleaned house
Yep.
of the ticket sellers.
And they're being resold for thousands of dollars already.
Yeah. The times we live in.
Yep. All right, last but not least here for one-offs, Paul Bear. Not that one, but the band. Not that one.
Not that one.
Anyway, they will be performing their 2012 debut album Sorrow and Extinction in full at the Union Transfer in Philadelphia, PA on May 31st. That performance will be part of a special set for Tired Hands Brewing Company, whom the band previously collaborated with on their Only Void beer. Weed Eater will also be on the bill for the performance.
Right on.
And that is it for one-offs. And that is it for concert news as a whole.
So let's go on to heavy metal in the charts. And...
Heavy metal in the charts. I got a noteworthy point here.
Uh-huh.
According to Billboard, Greta Van Fleet's latest single, You're the One, has topped Billboard's mainstream rock songs airplay chart. It is the band's fourth number one, following Highway Tune, which ruled for 5 weeks beginning in September 2017. Safari Song, which was up there for 3 weeks beginning February 2018. And When the Curtain Falls, which was up there for 1 week in November of 2018.
Word.
All right, let's just go to the Billboard Top 200. Surprises for the week of March 16th, which was a big new release week for metal. That saw Demon Hunter's War reach number 55 in the top 200. Demon Hunter's Peace reached number 61 in the top 200. Queensryche, The Verdict, reached number 110 in the top 200.
Wow.
And In Flames, I the Mask reached 121 in the top 200.
I'm just kind of surprised that Queensryche is as low as it is.
Right? Considering, like, Demon Hunter was that much higher.
Yeah.
All right, but we are going to go into this week's top 200. Usually you like to hear the top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. Number 1 is a new release by someone named Juice World.
The fuck?
Death Race for Love is the name of the album.
That better be fucking smoothies.
Right? I now I'm totally craving some Smoothie King.
Yeah.
Like
that's another
like that might be dinner tonight.
That's another sponsorship we need.
Ooh, Monster Energy Drink and Smoothie King.
Yeah, that would be a great combination.
For real. They need to actually like make like a Monster Energy Drink smoothie somehow.
No, we don't.
Yes, they totally do.
Sounds fucking disgusting.
No, it's totally amazing. You don't know what you're talking about.
That sounds fucking disgusting.
Anyway, Monster Energy Drink has this new flavor out. It's in a green can. It's a zero. It's pretty damn good.
You want to know how I heard about it?
From Tim Ripper Owens?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it was on his Twitter account.
Wait, isn't Tim Ripper and Owens in a new band that you heard about from the Monster Energy Drink website?
Yes.
Those two guys are just stroking each other's dicks.
I mean, I've since seen stuff about this band from different places, but like the first time I heard about it, it came from their Facebook page.
Nice. All right. Anyway, number 2. Let's just go through this. Number 2 is Ariana Grande. Thank You Next.
Okay.
Number 3 is the soundtrack for A Star Is Born.
Uh-huh.
Number 4 is a new release by Maren Morris. The album's called Girl Who Cares. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Queen Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack.
Right on.
All right. That is the top 5. Now let's scroll.
There's a lot of scrolling, I'm sure.
Here's a re-entry at number 18. New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough.
What?
Right. Now wait.
What?
Number 21. 21 is the new album from Tesla called Shock.
That's number 21.
That's
but
number 21.
Queensryche is at 110.
Was at 121 last week. Remember, that was last week. The one from what Queensryche was the week of March 16th. We are now in the week of March 23rd.
Right.
So,
at least now with this whole New Kid on the Block thing, I have a title for this episode. It's The Right Stuff.
It's totally the right stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Queen's Greatest Hits. is at number 24. Now we're going to get into some nasty scrolling here. The Best of Everything, the definitive career-spanning hits collection of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, is at 36.
New Kids on the fucking Block.
No shit. No shit. Apparently Dido has a new record out. I didn't know she had more than one song. Imagine Dragons back-to-back at 55 and 56.
Weren't they back-to-back last time?
I don't remember. Weezer, the Teal album, is at number 61. Queen's Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3, the Platinum Collection, is at number 62. Still in the top 100. Oh, Jerry's Greatest Hits at 87. So boring, I'm yawning.
Yeah.
Not that I'm tired, like, at all. No, not at all.
It's a lot of plays of Separate Ways and Don't Stop Believing.
Fleetwood Mac, Rumors is at 104.
See, Journey had a lot more songs than I actually give them credit for.
Oh,
so.
no, they have a lot of really, really, really good songs.
Yeah.
Wheel in the Sky is one of my favorites.
Wheel in the Sky is a great song.
I love that song.
Yeah. When I was at work the other day, they played the Eagle, which is our classic rock station down here.
Uh-huh.
And so sitting there moving boxes, listening to the Final Countdown was great.
Nice. Was it right before like the shift ended? So it was the final
No,
countdown to the
it was
shift?
like
No?
half an hour.
That
It was like
sucks.
half an hour before.
Anyway,
You lied to me.
The greatest hits of Guns N' Roses was at 121.
Actually, while you're scrolling, one of the
Nevermind is at 139.
one song that I've gotten a whole brand new appreciation for is Heartbreaker, Pat Benatar. That song has been played like a lot lately, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Um,
Metallica's Black Album's at 142.
not so sure about Love Is a Battlefield, but
Eh.
I can take it or leave it.
A Decade of Destruction by Five Finger Death Punch is at 155.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Black's at 164. Amanda Palmer has a new record out.
Really?
Yep. That debuts at 169.
Oh, I'll have to talk to Lindsay, see if she knew about that.
Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits is a re-entry at 176. Simon Garfunkel Greatest Hits at 183. Random re-entry for the day here is My Chemical Romance 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
What, New Kids on the Block wasn't random enough for you?
Well, I think the New Kids on the Block thing makes more sense only because I think they just recently announced a tour.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So that really. Oh, look at number 200, 50 number ones by George Strait. Still lower than Metallica.
So
Still lower than Metallica.
some people are getting mad.
All right, so let's go to the hard rock here now. Hard rock albums for the week of March 16th.
Okay.
No surprises for such a big week in releases, but Demon Hunter War was at number 4. Demon Hunter Peace was at number 5. Queensryche the Verdict was at number 6. In Flames on the Mask was at number 7.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7 new releases on the top 25 for hard rock albums. And at number 16 that same week was Mark Morton's record.
Gotcha.
All right, let's now go to this week's hard rock charts. Number 25 is a re-entry. 1X, 3 Days Grace.
Who gives a shit?
24 is another re-entry. Mothership, Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
23, re-entry. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits.
I guess he's got knocked out for the new ones.
Yep. Or more, maybe, because there's a lot of re-entries this week.
Yeah.
22 is re-entry. Experience Hendrix, the best of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, these are all ones we've covered before.
Yep. Number 21 is a re-entry of Led Zeppelin 4. Greta Van Fleet, of course, is still on there with From the Fires, their EP. Number 19 is a re-entry, The Best of Nickelback, Volume 1.
Oh, that's different.
Yes, it is different. Number 18 is also a re-entry, Chris Cornell. Number 17 is Meteora, Linkin Park. Number 16 is Antennas to Hell, Slipknot. Number 15 is All the Right Reasons, Nickelback. That's the one we usually cover.
Yeah.
Number 14 is Greatest Hits, Foo Fighters. Number 13 is another re-entry, which is The Vault, Greatest Hits 1980 to 1995 of Def Leppard. Number 12 is The Greatest Hits of Three Doors Down. Number 11 is Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. Number 10 is Anthem of the Peaceful Army, Greta Van Fleet. Number 9 is Greatest Hits by Bon Jovi. Number 8 is Back in Black. Number 7 is A Decade of Destruction, Five Finger Death Punch. Number 6, Metallica. Number 5, Greatest Hits, Guns N' Roses. Number 4, Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3, The Platinum Collection, Queen. Number 3, Greatest Hits, Queen. Number 2, Shock by Tesla.
Really?
The new one. And number 1, Bohemian Rhapsody, the soundtrack.
Just Tesla.
Out of nowhere. People probably bought the record thinking it's about Nikolai Tesla.
People wouldn't even buy it then.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe it was about the car company. No, it's a rock band, everybody. Tesla's a rock band.
I mean, didn't their most popular song come from a cover?
I don't even know. What was their most popular song?
Signs.
Oh. Is that a cover?
That's a cover. That's not their own song.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a cover, and they got popular for playing an acoustic version of it or something like that. I'm just surprised. Like, I didn't think that Tesla had that much of a following.
Allegedly so.
I guess I need to listen to some Tesla and see what the big deal is. I have some Tesla albums.
You know, they might fall in that range of bands that have that that one ridiculously popular song that has nothing to do with what they really sound like.
Yeah.
Extreme. Or
Don't even mention Extreme. Don't mention that song.
which song is that?
I'm not talking about that song.
You got the same words than that.
I hate you. Even Wholehearted is bad. Oh.
And then what about another one? Night Ranger apparently is a very hard rocking band, but everyone knows them for Sister Christian.
That song sucks.
See my point exactly. So Tesla might be one of those bands that fall into that category.
Maybe.
All right, but that's it. We haven't come up with this discussion for today
Yeah, so I think we're gonna close it there
because
so,
we is tired.
That's right. So, we're gonna close on that note because Warrior needs sleep badly.
And a snack. So
And
food and sleep.
Food and sleep.
I'm pretty much a hibernating bear right now.
Yeah. So until next time, I'm Dan Mack.
And this is Chris Mack.
And we are the Slime. Oh, I gotta press the button.
I was gonna say no outro music today. You're that lazy?
Hang on, give me a second. I forgot to pull it up. I wasn't ready.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Fuck. Wouldn't be this show without mistakes.
Nope. It wouldn't be the show without mistakes on your end and me mispronouncing shit.